I am so excited to be here on a beautiful day with Bianca Bosker, the author of the new book, Cork Dork, which is a New York Times bestseller. Congratulations.
Yes, thank you so much.
So the premise of Cork Dork is pretty amazing because it's really about you starting your whole life over and your career over. You were a tech reporter and then you decided to jump into the world of wine. Why was the world of wine so fascinating to you?
I was not a wine connoisseur when I started on this journey, and you know, that never really bothered me too much until I discovered this world of Cork Dorks. And so for people that may not know this, you know, Cork Dork isn't just the name of a book, it's actually the restaurant industry's nickname for the most passionate, obsessive, and knowledgeable wine lovers. The more I discovered about this world of sommeliers, the more I realized they put themselves through a stunning amount of pain in the name of pleasure.
How much can a person really learn from a glass, and how much should we value that knowledge that our somms have?
Yeah, so the answer is a lot. You know, you're given a glass of wine, you've got nothing else to go by except what is in that glass, and using basically the flavor alone, you really have to figure out the specific grape, how that wine was made, the specific year, and where it was made down to a region. I mean, you know, think of not a country, but a vineyard the size of Central Park. The more I trained my palate, started drinking, you know, weekday mornings, licking rocks, all those things, the more I became aware of the fact that I think that a lot of us settle for secondhand sensing, right? Like we taste what we're told to. Like if we spend a lot of money on something, we have like a really fancy menu description, we assume it's delicious.
Right, and I mean, in the book, you go to like a German olfactory conference to talk to these scientists, and you know, I was sort of amazed at the things people tend to, and you say this in the book, dismiss the sense of smell as being kind of the first one that most people would give up and not being as important, but that people actually use their sense of smell and taste a lot more than they think, than just for pleasure.
So there's a lot of misconceptions. First of all, we're better smellers than we think we are. There's this idea that humans forgot how to smell as they stood upright. Actually, like we beat even rats and dogs to really considered like the best smellers when it comes to certain scents. The second thing is we can actually improve our sense of smell. When I started all of this, I was very doubtful, you know, was I kind of destined to forever be an olfactory idiot? And the answer is with training, with a little effort, we can actually change. And I think the third thing is that it matters, and it does make a difference. I mean, as a bit of a spoiler, like at the end of this all, I got my brain scanned to see if I could actually, if I'd actually changed, if I developed like an expert's brain. We know what that looks like from previous wine studies. And what the research shows is not only that we can change, but also why we should bother to do so. And what you see is that these smells that we would waft by unrecognized, ignored, these senses, this flavor can actually activate the higher order parts of our brain involved with memory, with reason, with logic, all that.
There's also this high-end and low-end piece that you talk about a lot in the book. I think a lot of people might be surprised to know that the wines that they buy, if they're not wine connoisseurs, is actually kind of reverse engineered to mass palates. Was that surprising to you? And can you kind of explain for the viewers sort of how they're kind of not being tricked, but how they're the wines that they buy in mass production are sort of made for them?
Totally. So I was really cognizant, wanting to see the high end, the go behind the scenes in the Michelin star restaurants, but also that's not what most of us are experiencing of wine most of the time. And you know, we think of wine as this beverage, very artisanal, right? It's made with grapes and yeast and a whole lot of love.
Terroir, a lot of French words thrown in there.
Right. And you know, I got this rare glimpse, basically how the wine that most of us drink most of the time is made. And the average American spends about $9.80 in a bottle of wine. Now, these sort of entry-level wines are not so much made as they are engineered. So if you think about the way that flavor scientists will come together to design a new Oreo flavor, it's not that different. You bring in focus groups, you have a panel of consumers that essentially say, oh, I feel, you know, a little more like maybe a purple wine this season, or something with a bit more, you know, texture, or blackberry notes, or cherry cola, whatever it is. And there are dozens of different additives that you can put into a wine to change it, manipulate it. And they're, by the way, not just in lower end bottles. I mean, more expensive producers also use these, but no one talks about it.
And then a little bit of lightning round for you with wine. Just, you know, for people who are like, all right, now she knows everything. What is the average price you now spend on wine? What is the sweet spot for you?
Oh my gosh. I try to spend, I would say, around like average $35 probably.
If you're going to a party, what is like the region or place where you bring a wine from where you feel like you're cool? For those who want to like know what to bring.
So recently I've been very interested in Pinot Noirs made in Germany. It's my go-to pick. But now that summer is coming, I'm all about pushing people to try Grillo from Sicily, which is this white grape that just tastes like the beach.
And what is the wine that you are embarrassed that you love so much?
Viognier. So it's a white wine. It's really comes into its own in the Rhone, and it smells like the secret garden. I mean, it is just beautiful. It's floral. It's aromatic. It's gorgeous, and sommeliers will sort of look at you cross-eyed and sort of say it's a blending grape. It's a grape that some people think should only sort of be in the background, but I love it. Makes me happy.
Right, it's like you love it. What is the one question you should never ask a som?
Oh, don't ask them, are you preparing for the Master Sommelier exam? Or are you like taking the courts exams? Like people find that really frustrating because, we've seen some, people have heard all about the Court of Master Sommeliers.
Is there a particular wine that you should never order if you don't want to get mocked by your som?
Sommeliers have been known to describe New Zealand Sauvignon Blanc or Malbec as cougar juice. And there are certainly gimme wines on the list that you should be careful of. So every sort of wine list is what sommeliers would call a gimme wine, which is called that because people say, give it to me, I don't care how much it costs. And if you order a gimme wine, you'll probably pay a gimme tax because it's there because people go on autopilot, they recognize it, and they order it no matter how much it costs. And so maybe not your best value. But I say, to hell with all of that, if you enjoy the wine, drink it, do not worry what people are going to say about it. We all have our own personal pleasures and our own personal relationship with wine.
And on that note, if you want a more personal relationship with wine, pick up Cork Dork. I really cannot recommend it enough. I tore through it. I was talking to all my friends about it. I feel like I learned, I laughed. It's really a great book. And yeah, so pick it up now. It's Cork Dork. Bianca, thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you for having me.